Perfect. Perfect. Welcome to Dirty Fanatics.
I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Let's see. Nope, still nothing. Headset. Let's see here. Let's see. Can I hear you on? I wonder if I can hear you on YouTube. Still nothing. Let's see. I still can't hear you. I'm gonna check Facebook real quick to see if I can hear you on on YouTube. YouTube. Yeah, you're not going over YouTube.
No, we can't hear Chase on YouTube.
Yep. So I can hear me, but we can't hear you over YouTube. All right, Falcon fans. I guess I'll try to hold it down until we get technical difficulties going back up. Man, not a good one, Falcon fans. Not a good one. Started out rough. Was not the result we were looking for at all. You can't play like that at all. The way that you played this week, it was bad all the way across the board. Now, granted, Tyler Algiero, can we hear you now? Still nothing, man. Is your mic plugged in?
I don't really do that.
There you go. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
You can hear me?
I can hear you now. You're good to go, buddy.
All righty. Falcon fans, episode 99 coming at you live. Me and my boy Cody Keeler bringing you the Falcon stats and facts for tonight. Episode 99, man. Hit that like button. Leave a subscribe. Some technical difficulties, but hey, that's okay. We haven't hit 500 subs yet, so we're still learning this. We're still getting our hands in the ropes. But Cody, a bad performance today at Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yes, sir.
You being there, Philip, as well on the way home right now. I know that was very disappointing as a fan seeing it in person, but for me at home, it was even just to be at home and watch your Falcons get beat down the way the Falcons got beat down. And really, the Falcons put their own foot on their back early in the gate. You know, they had all those penalties we talked about numerous of times here on the podcast, Cody. Those costly penalties matter. I believe there was 2 to 3 penalties on third down, which progressed the chains for the opponents, giving them fresh downs, which led to touchdowns to initially take a 20-point lead on your Atlanta Falcons. Cody, break it down, man, from start to finish. You know, what went wrong, what we could have did better. Is there any worries? Is a pass rush a need right now? Cody, talk to me.
Man, like you said, and I'm going to try not to get too excited because I was livid watching this team again, just dumb penalties, man, in costly times. You have got to clean this crap up. This is not something that you can go in and week out and experience. Yes, we've been good enough to overcome them the last couple of weeks. We were 3-0 in the division. You cannot do this. You cannot do this. It kills. One a drive is too much. But to have, when we're starting out, you get Seattle come down, good. You know, they move down, you hold them at 3, great. Now you start moving the ball, and then it's 3. You're at home. You know the snap count. It was not loud. Why 3 false starts? Are you serious? That is stuff that you cannot have. Absolutely cannot have. I don't know why. So as things go on, things are looking better-ish, but you could still tell that there was just, I don't know if Zach Robinson wasn't tuned into what was going on, but Bijan and Tyler were doing their thing, man, and we got away from it. But you had to because the Seahawks couldn't run on us. They couldn't run on us. They weren't running on us, but they were absolutely gashing us. How on God's green earth do you have a flea flicker and you have DJ Metcalf falling to his back and he catches the ball when you've got 3 Atlanta Falcon defenders right there? Unexcusable. I don't know what Jimmy Lake is doing, and I'm not trying to be too harsh or too emotional about it.
We're 100% with it when it comes to the podcast.
Absolutely. And so my thing is something's got to change. I mean, you did get to Geno Smith a couple of times today. There was pressure, but how many more times did he find a way to escape, get out, and make a play? I can think of 3. At least that the flea flicker, I mean, that wasn't Geno Smith. Now, granted, I think it was Tyler Lockett that threw the ball or whoever it was. That threw with
the deep pass to DK.
I mean, but again, and then you had AJ Terrell again get burnt by DJ Metcalf in the red zone.
We talked about this, bro. You brought the fact up, and you know what's even crazier, Cody? AJ Terrell traveled across the field numerous times today.
Yeah.
And that was a scheme that Jimmy Lake felt comfortable with going into this game. And there was times that it was good coverage by AJ Terrell, but then there was times that Geno Smith is just putting this ball in the breadbasket. Like there was 2 passes for sure. There was one, I think AJ may have got a little bit of the pigskin on it, but I mean, it was in DK's hand. And then there was one of the low ball that went right by AJ Terrell into DK's hand. So we knew coming into this matchup, DK Metcalf was going to be a matchup to watch, and they did as well. And Cody, you called it out and you talked about it. You know, you called the stats within the 20-yard line. DK Metcalf is a problem, and it showed today for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, and the other thing is, I don't know if if it was as apparent on TV as it was at the stadium, but there were several passes that were dropped by Seahawk defenders, and everybody's like, "Oh, good." It's like, are you kidding me? There was one in the end zone where it flat out hit the wide out in the hands, and he just dropped it. It had nothing to do with our defenders doing anything about it. Yeah, maybe got a hand in the face to where it couldn't see it clear, but he flat out dropped it. Our secondary got torched all day today, and it was bad. And now my thing about that is because we're in this 3-4 defense. Yeah, we got some pressure. Yes, I think we came away with 2 sacks, which was an upgrade over having none. But again, it is the mobile quarterback that got out and made plays, and we couldn't get him on the ground. This can't continue. This Jimmy Lake is going to have to figure out something that it is either you've got to go out and get somebody, or you've got to change this. You've got to change something, because this 3-4 ain't cutting it. We have been gashed every week by the run or a mobile quarterback. Maybe not on the ground, but extending plays and not.
Sad. You know what's even more sad, Cody? The fact that we allow these dirty Seahawks to come in our stadium and hit the dirty bird numerous times in the end zone was just gut-wrenching to me. It pissed me off being at home. I couldn't imagine being at the stadium, watch somebody else do the dirty bird in your own stadium. Yeah. Defense did not come prepared. And Cody, I went straight to Facebook after the game and said, even in our group chat, this defense is overrated. This defense is not a top 10 defense. And it's shown since week 3 to week 4, it's shown tremendously. Your offense has led you in a lot of games. You look back at the 500-yard passing game. If Kirk Cousins and Drake London and Darnell Mooney doesn't perform that well that game, you're probably sitting with an L right now. You're sitting at what would be 3-3. You'd be 3-3 on the season. Now you're sitting at 4-3, still banking on the Bucs to lose Monday night against the Ravens. So that still leaves you at top of the division with a split way tie with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You do have the advantage right now, but you go back and play Tampa Sunday night. You play Tampa Bay. Is it what time is it, Cody? Is it at 1? Is it a 1 o'clock game?
It's a 1 o'clock game, yeah.
So Sunday afternoon you play Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Cody, and now your mindset has to be, okay, you've lost your first NFC matchup. Now it's still the same mindset. Go outrun the South. Go outrun the South, and you can bounce back Sunday. This game doesn't even matter. Cody, your thoughts on bouncing back Sunday against a NFC South division opponent?
Right. Well, I'm never going to say a week 8 is a must-win game, but this is a must-win game, man. After the performance that you put up as an entire team today,
week 7, Cody,
week 7, you can't play like you did today. It didn't feel like they came out with any energy whatsoever. It looked like they were super unprepared. Zach Robinson, I think, got away.
First drives, Cody. I don't mean to interrupt you, but
no, you're good.
These first drives, if you watch the last 3 games, our first drive has been horrendous.
Yes.
I don't know what that is, if it's just nerves or whatever that may be, but you cannot go out there and go 3 out the gate. You go, you pass the ball a pretty good bit that first drive. I believe you did not run the ball at all that first drive.
No, I don't think so either. And that was a drive where you have 3. If I'm not mistaken, that's a drive that you have 3 false starts in a row, because you were moving the ball a little bit. It wasn't anything pretty. It wasn't anything fancy. It was very lackluster, which was something that I feel like they started out real boring offensively. And then I thought they started getting too cute with all the motion that they were having going around. That was one thing that I told the wife when I was standing there. I was like, why are they getting so cute right now? There's too much pre-snap motion. You're having to go touchdown for touchdown with them right now. You need to call something. If you want to motion a little bit, fine, whatever. But you're getting too cute with your play calling. And then, of course, your penalties kill you, man. Because, again, Bijan and Tyler Bijan over 100 yards today. Tyler Algier
20
was
touches.
Yeah.
Cody, talk keeping it cute, or not keeping it cute, keeping it simple. And you have a rusher that went over 100 yards last week that touched the ball 5 times, averaging 7 yards a carry.
Yeah, and again,
5 times, Cody. 5 times after a 100-yard game last week.
Yeah, and then again, I was just super disappointed with the way that they came out and the way that they played. It almost felt like they came out and were like, you know what, we're 3-0 in the division. We can't do anything wrong right now. This is the Seattle Seahawks. This is a team that we should walk all over like we did Carolina. And you should have, by all means, you should have absolutely walked over the Seahawks. There's no reason that you should have lost to the Seahawks the way that you lost to the Seahawks today. Keep it close. That's fine. Whatever. They're an NFL football team too. They're going to keep it close. But there's no reason that the Seattle Seahawks should have come into your house and put up the kind of points that they put up that they put up. There's no reason for it. There's no reason for you to come out that still and stagnant against the Seattle Seahawks. You're at home and you're you're shooting yourself in the foot with these stupid penalties again, man. It is the stupid penalties at insanely horrible timing. And it's killing drives.
The crazy part is, Cody, because you're preaching on penalties, and it's 100% because you outweighed the Seahawks on first downs. You outweighed them on third down efficiency. You outdid them on fourth down efficiency. Total plays, you had 71 total plays to their 56. Sacks allowed 3. We punted 3 times. They punted 4 times. They had 5 penalties for 42. We had 9 penalties for 72 yards. Fumbles lost with 1. Interceptions, 2 interceptions, costly interceptions. Drake London, you have to catch that football. The second one, Kirk Cousins, you have to settle down in the pocket, baby. You have to settle down. I know the pressure is coming. I know you're without Matthew Bergeron. Cody, losing Matthew Bergeron, when that went down, the whole game went downhill. Cody, I know you were at the bench. You've seen it happen firsthand. Matthew Bergeron with the neck injury, don't know the extent to it. But, Cody, how major is this when it comes to outrunning the South without a Matthew Bergeron? Or, Ryan Nuzil with the scare today. Matt Hennessy comes in, does phenomenal with the run game blocking, gets the 7 points. Ryan Nuzil comes back in. Thank God that is the case because you want to have that healthy. Because Ryan Nuzil's been playing solid ball here. Let's be for real. It hasn't been terrible. Ryan Nuzil playing, pretty fair this season. But how difficult will it be, Cody, without a Matthew Bergeron if this is a long, extended injury?
Well, anytime you have any kind of injury to your offensive line, man, as I say, it's something that I've preached about on this podcast multiple times, many times, and I will continue to. Is your offensive line is your strong, is your closest, knit unit, and when you have a guy go down, you have chemistry off. Now not to say that they don't practice together and all that stuff, and I understand that, but there's a whole lot. There's a big difference between, hey, we practice together occasionally when when you've got Bergeron, sitting out to take a rest, and you've got Matt Hennessy in to back. Now your chemistry's off on your offensive line because they're not playing together, as often, and so it makes a huge difference. You never want to see your offensive line get hurt in any way, shape, or form. Those are the guys. Yes, other than your quarterback, that you absolutely do not want to see go down because it's so important. Because, like you said, as soon as Bergeron goes down, look at what happens. Kirk starts feeling more pressure. I understand he was trying to get that ball, but you were 100% right. The group text, take that sack and just punt.
Take the sack,
don't.
Bro.
I just
because it's still early enough, Cody. If you take that sack there, yes, you are punting the ball back, but your defense did just commute a stop there for you to get that chance. So. That's another thing, Cody. Defense not playing very well, but for the fact that defense made stops to keep you in this game. There were still times that the defense made those stops to give you the chance to take the W, and Kirk Cousins and the offense just could not get it clicking tonight.
Yeah, and that's very true. The defense. Unfortunately, the defense just gave up big plays in critical moments, and that was
today. Cody, coming into the NFL this game, real quick. Robert, shout out to Robert coming through talking Falcon football. Robert, we're gonna get right to you here in a minute, brother. But Cody, speaking of the big plays that we gave up today, Falcons came in ranked at number 5 with the fewest plays over 20 yards. Today, the Atlanta Falcons gave up 11 plays over 20 yards.
Yeah,
that cannot happen.
No, that is not a game plan for success whatsoever. I would say this 3-4 defense is trash, man. You've got to do something about it. You absolutely do, man. And again, I don't know if that means that you need to go and find a way to get Riddick in here and let him cook, or if I'm still, even after today's loss, I'm still not giving up Michael Penix to go get Max Crosby. Yeah. But if you can give something up to go get him, if it costs you, a first, a second, a third, and next, a 25-second and third, do it at this point. I don't care.
I got a great question for you and Robert, but before we get to that, Robert, what's going on, man? You obviously watched the game today. A horrendous L here for the Atlanta Falcons. Our first blown out, L on the season. First blown out, victory for our team against us in quite a while. Last year we didn't really allow blowouts either, but today was a 20-point dub for the Seattle Seahawks. Robert, your thoughts on, what went wrong and where things could improve, and touch up on the Matt Bergeron injury, how things went downhill from that point on. Robert, take it from the top, bro.
Well, games like this are going to happen. we started flat and just never recovered. Defense, especially, I mean, like you said, we've given up way too many big plays. I'm a little bit disappointed in AJ, but hey, he's a professional corner and I'm not. I'm not out there, but still, I mean, as fans, it's frustrating. And of course, later on in the game after Bergeron went down, it just seemed like that, Kirk felt pressured to force things. And the first interception wasn't his fault. It went through Drake's hands. But, and of course, the sack and the fumble, I mean, yeah, Kirk should have just tucked it, took the sack, punted, kept us in the game. Just gotta improve. We gotta start better. We gotta come out of the gate faster, not be flat. Otherwise, the Bucs are gonna pretty much do what the Seahawks did to us today.
Yeah, and that's the thing that you have to look at when it's with the Matthew Bergeron injury. You're heading into, I would say we could all agree here on the channel, I'm sure about this comment, but the Bucs are the second runner-up here for first round. The Bucs are going to be your hardest divisional opponent that you face this year. Yep. And this game holds a lot of weight. Like Cody said, you never want to say a Week 8 game holds a lot of weight, but this Week 8 game really certainly does, because of the Bucs been on a hot streak after just hanging 50 points up on the Saints, and they just somehow come out of Monday night with the W. You for sure have to beat them Week 8. So the Matthew Bergeron is something that I personally will be watching 100% close this week to make sure he's going to be active, because that is major, guys. That is a major, major position there. And it seemed like even with the Matthew Bergeron injury, we still ran the ball to the left side. Why are we not running the ball to the right? Why are we running to the weak side right now? What are we doing? And that's why I went to Facebook with my post, and Falcon fans agreed, some disagreed, but the play calling is still not a strength of this Atlanta Falcons offense. It's probably the weakest link of this offense is play calling at this point. This is not me. We should fire Zach Robinson. That's not me saying this at all, but I'm saying Zach Robinson has to find the identity of the Atlanta Falcons, because it seemed like there for a little while when that 3-week stretch, the 3-win game streak, you were finding a rhythm with the offense. The Falcons were ranking number 6 in total yards. They were a top 6 or top 10 offense basically before tonight or before today. So I think you have to find that identity. Zach Robinson has to settle in. And you have to figure out how to use Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier, because you still have not figured that out. It's week 7, and Tyler Algier is still touching the ball 5 times throughout the whole entire game. A question for you and Robert, and this is just Falcon fans on Twitter asking questions, so I figured I would bring it to the podcast. Falcons today obviously bench Kirk Cousins towards the end of the game, bring Penix in, let him close the game out. They pretty much take all starters off the field except a couple of few. Falcon fans are saying, wouldn't you rather your team finish on a strong note, as in leave the first string offense in to try to go and beat that deficit a little? It's a 20-point deficit. Cody, your thoughts on the benching of Kirk Cousins and bringing him, your thoughts on the whole situation? Is Falcon fans overreacting, or should Raheem Morris and the offense try to go down and put more points up on the board before the 20 to – what was it? What was the score? 35 to
34, 14.
34. Yeah, Cody, your thoughts?
No, that's ridiculous. It's fine to take Kirk Cousins out in that situation. You had already lost that football game. You don't need to get anybody else hurt. Matt Bergeron already went down. You don't need Kirk Cousins to go down in a meaningless football game at that point. There's nothing wrong with taking Kirk Cousins out and letting Michael Penix, get some game time reps in. Now this part, I hate to get off the game, but this is something that needs to be addressed to Falcon fans, because I was disgusted with some of the stuff that I heard from Falcon fans talking about Kirk Cousins, about how it was a good thing that Bergeron was out because now he's going to get hit more, and that might mean that we get to put in Baby Vic. If I hear that shit at Mercedes-Benz again, next time I'm turning around and I'm saying something, you do not say that about opposing teams. I don't care if it's the Saints. You don't ever wish injury on anybody. That was so disgusting to listen to, and shame on whoever was doing it.
Did you guys see the Deshaun Watson, the crowd booing Deshaun Watson?
That was disgusting too. I can't stand Deshaun Watson either, and that's disgusting. So for other Falcon fans, and if it was happening in my area, it was happening at other places too. Kirk Cousins doesn't need to be hurt. We don't want Kirk Cousins hurt. If you think that's a recipe for success is for your $180 million quarterback to go down so you can put in baby Vic, let me tell you right now, this football team will not win another.
He doesn't even play a Michael Vick style. That's not what Michael Penix does.
No, and it's not. But again, that is a rookie quarterback who's learning from a veteran. And so if I hear that shit ever again in Mercedes-Benz, I'm saying something next time, because that is absolutely disgusting, especially when you're saying it about your own team. I could not believe what I was hearing. I was just as disappointed as everybody else was, but to call for Kirk Cousins to get injured while you're losing at home because you want to see Penix, unacceptable, completely unacceptable, Falcon fans. And I hope I don't ever hear it again, because it took everything in my body, because I'm not going to jail over it. Wanted to, but that's something that you can't. That's not going to win us football games. We put in Michael Penix Jr. in right now, we probably get maybe 3-4 more wins. That's not going to get us to the playoffs. Kirk Cousins is our starting quarterback. Kirk Cousins is going to be the reason that we win this division. Kirk Cousins is going to be the reason that we make a playoff run. Not Michael Penix Jr. Penix time will come. Wait,
Robert.
But anyway, so I'll get off that high horse. But
Robert, you've been a Falcon fan for several years. You've seen the fan base, how the fan base has reacted after, dubs, how they react after hard L's. Robert, your thoughts of, the benching of Kirk Cousins and particularly the whole offense, that last drive there when Michael Penix came in, throwing the ball one time and the rest were handoffs. Robert, your thoughts of that situation? Should the Falcons have went and tried to put up more points on the board, or was that just a game over, recuperate, head on to the Bucs?
That was to protect Kirk and at the same time to get Michael a little bit of game experience. But yeah, it was to protect Kirk. And that was a smart move by the coaching staff. The game was already lost. There was no sense in even trying to go down there and get more points. And of course, if you have Penix, dropping back and, with the Seahawks defense playing like they were today, if Penix gets hurt and then Kirk gets hurt, where are we? And as far as
backup,
and as far as the fan reaction goes, I don't care who I make mad if you're watching this, but I've been a fan of this team for over 40 years. And especially in the recent years, a lot of this fan base is so negative and so knee-jerk reaction. You all would not have survived being a fan in the 80s. Mm-hmm. You would not have survived Dan Henning and Dave Archer years. You would not have stuck with the team. So shut your pie holes. And if you can't support the Falcons, go support the Saints or some other loser fan base. Go hang with your own type.
There you go. I love it.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah,
I'm sick and tired of it, boys.
No, Robert's 100% right, man. If that's going to be the kind of fan that you are, I don't want you around. Get out. Get out. Go support the Hawks. Go support the Braves. Go somewhere else, because it doesn't need to be here in Atlanta. It's ridiculous. I 100%
agree. Fans, you were there today. You heard the fans. I could hear it on the TV. Fans booing the offense after the 3 back-to-back flags there on the opening drive. Cody, give me your thoughts on just that particular drive. Fans going, even me at home was pretty irate with what happened there that first drive. Cody, speak about that a little bit, and then we'll bounce to Robert.
Yeah, no, and don't get me wrong. Like, I was just as frustrated as everybody else is, but I'm not going to start booing my own football team because, of mistakes being made. It's stuff that can be cleaned up. Like, again, this loss sucks. And the way we lost sucks. And it's going to stick with us for an entire week until we play the Buccaneers. Now, mindset should be tomorrow we're on to Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
But as fans, it's going to stick with us all week. Now, hopefully, obviously the players are probably already on to Tampa Bay. But I am never okay with you booing your own team, man. I would say they feed off of that. And I understand it was frustrating. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you can't be upset. I'm not saying you can't be mad. I'm not saying you can't say that play calling was garbage. I'm not saying that you can't call A.J. Terrell out. I'm not saying that you can't call Kirk out. I'm not saying that you can't be upset with Raheem, with Zach Robinson, with Jimmy Lake. You can be. All means. And I don't mean to tell other people how to fan. But again, here we go. Teams feed off of our energy, whether people think so or not. And when they're already starting out the way that they started out, and now we're booing our team while we're still in this football game, because it's 3-0 at this point. We're not down 20 points. We're down by 3. And y'all and fans are booing. Is unacceptable.
Absolutely.
You have to hang in with your team.
Yep.
You
Kobe,
have
I'll
to hang in.
add something to that. You know, like you said, the team feeds off of our energy. And the negative energy that these fans have been bringing to the bins for the last few years, you know, no wonder we finished 7-10 3 straight years. No wonder the last few years of the Dan Quinn era were disastrous. You know, if you want a winner, you know, come support the team. Build the energy. You're absolutely right on that, Cody.
Absolutely. Before we get too far into the Falcons and the Seahawks recap, I want to hit the comment section, man. Comment section going off tonight. Jake and Light Bacon with the what's up. Carlos Wiggins says, sad performance all around. I couldn't believe they were this unprepared. Jake said, at least we've won most of our games this season. Yeah, you've won. You know, you should have beat the Steelers. You should have beat the Chiefs for that penalty that was not called. So, I mean, you've seen that's the only thing that irritates me about today's game. You did not see something that you could say, oh, man, the Falcons look good in this aspect. There was not one thing.
The only thing that I can think that you really take positive is hey, Bijan in the end zone again, over 100 yards rushing.
Drake
Tyler,
as well. Drake
was in
weeks back to back.
Looked good. Kyle Pitts started off kind of hot. Again, if you feed Tyler the ball, give Tyler the ball. Because Tyler again, he had the one run where he got stopped at the line of scrimmage, but everything after that, you know, he had
7.6 yards per average for Tyler.
Again, and this is one thing, and again, I'm not going to try to bash Zach Robinson or try to, but I don't understand after the game that he has against Carolina, how he starts out against Seattle. How on God's green earth do you get away from that? Yeah, you control time of possession today.
But when you said keeping it simple, like Zach Robinson went totally away from what he could have did by keeping it simple, giving the ball to Tyler Algier. And you were moving the ball, man. Bijan Robinson was out there breaking ankles, doing his thing, wearing down the defense, but you were not swapping the two. There was plays that I could tell Bijan Robinson was gassed, and I knew we should not be handing the ball to Bijan on this play, but the play was a third straight run in a row with Bijan Robinson, that whole drive, running the ball. It takes a lot of energy to break these ankles, Zach Robinson. So, yes, we need to swap in a Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier should have at least 10 touches a game.
Minimum
10 touches a game.
Yes, exactly.
C-Double in the chat said, honestly, Raw saw the writing on the wall. Shout out to C-Double, another Atlanta Falcon podcaster. The Beard Gang, man, they do big things over there. Shout out to C-Double. Said, we lost due to coaching, that's for sure. Josh Gilman said, losing by 20 at home is all in the coaches. That we got the talent. At least it wasn't a division game. C-Double said, game was over. Honestly, he threw the ball once. I swear, fans, relax. Kirk is going to be our guy. The game was a loss. Rod, Jimmy, and Zach need to be held accountable. I agree. As a whole, the whole unit, the whole engine as a team was not running well today. Low on oil. I don't know if it was a quart low, a half a quart, but Falcon fans, top it off, man, because we got to do better, man. Falcons have got to bounce back Sunday against your division opponent, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. C-Double said, I was hearing people say Penix is him. I was like, really? Let's take it easy. Chris and your crew are invited to be on the ATL Falcons Beard Gang show. Love your show. And we appreciate it, brother. Hit the inbox, man. We'll set up a date and time, and we can definitely bring the DFU crew over. We're short one guy tonight. Philip is on the way back from Atlanta. So we'll definitely take you up on that invite. C-Double said, can we talk about Zach Robinson and Mike Bobo being the same person? Falcon fans, offense of play calling has not been stellar this season. We've talked about it. Heading, into those divisional games where the Falcons seem to find an identity on the offense side of the ball. Then you come out today and just absolutely, even really against Carolina, you didn't get stuff going until late with your running backs. So 2 weeks of the offense looking kind of, I don't want to say dry, but it's been pretty dry here.
Lackluster is the word I'd give it.
Yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough. So I'm sure Terry Raheem Morris, Jimmy Lake, all these guys are going to get back to the drawing board this week. I'm sure they can get it corrected, and the Atlanta Falcons go out there and outrun the South, as Raheem Morris has been saying this whole offseason.
Right. Yeah, and and my thing is, again, is like, as upset as I am, because I'm a Falcon fan. I mean, see, I don't care if we had lost by 1, I would have been upset. The thing that we still have to remember is that Zach Robinson, first time OC, he will figure it out eventually. Now, is he figuring out as fast as we would like him to? No, but we also, we have to remember he is going up against NFL coaches. So it's going to take him some time, and I'm willing to be patient, but I'm going to be frustrated too. And you can believe that, we have the right as fans to be like, you've got to figure something out, because if we're sitting here, there's the 3 of us, none of us have a single second of NFL coaching time, NFL playing time, being on a practice squad. And we're sitting here going, we understand that you can run the ball with Tyler Algier. There's no reason that the man should only have 5 touches. We can see that if we're sitting here figuring this out, and I know, hindsight is always 20/20. But if we're sitting here figuring this out, hey, Tyler just went over 100 yards. Hey, you're having success running the ball with Bijan, but you can see that he's getting gas. You've got a back behind him who was 1,000-yard back and who is running for 7.5 a clip. Go ahead and give him the ball. Zach can figure that out. It's not that complicated.
Absolutely.
Exactly right.
I agree 100%, Cody. It's frustrating because you've seen the Atlanta Falcons put up 30 points here, 3 weeks in a row. You come in today, you can't score over 14. Offense definitely hit a brick wall, and it did not advance any when Matthew Bergeron went out of the game. So a tough loss there if Matthew Bergeron's out for numerous weeks, because he's very solid in the run game and what we do very well as passing. Matthew Bergeron has been a solid pick here for the Atlanta Falcons. So and props to Matt Hennessy coming in on the touchdown drive, doing what a backup center does. He was initially drafted here by the Atlanta Falcons, did good things in the run game, actually led center 1 year for Arthur Smith until he took the season-ending injury. So Matt Hennessy finding a spot here on the roster. I want to give a shout-out to Zach Harrison as well. Zach Harrison was making noise. The BS roughing the passer flag that they throw to give them the first down, 15-yard penalty. They go and score, which initially puts the game away. That was really, really bogus to me, man. It just killed me after watching Texas and Georgia, the referee that they put up with, and then you watch your Falcons put up the same exact thing the following day. So it's tough, man. Jabri Harper in the chat said, "Rise up, tough game today, folks." Nothing to be happy about when you're an Atlanta Falcon fan after today's game. Not happy at all. Very, very distraught. It's week 7. You think this team has finally got it together. You think the team and Philip is heavy on, we're good, bro. We're good. This is the season. This is just an off week. You had one off week out of what's it been, 4 to 5 weeks now. 3 straight dubs here for the Atlanta Falcons. So I mean, it was bound to happen. We were bound to take that L, but you have to bounce back from it, and you have to be the team that you were against those division opponents, and hopefully the Falcons can pick up on that Sunday. Cody, we'll give like a short summary on what the Falcons need to do to bounce back Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Cody, we'll start it with you.
Yeah, long story short, you've got to get pressure on the quarterback. Again, it was nice to see Geno Smith go down twice a day, but again, just too many times that he should have been on the ground that he wasn't on the ground. Absolutely killed us. You've got to get that figured out. You've got to get Baker Mayfield on the ground this Sunday if you're going to be successful, or this upcoming Sunday if you're going to be successful. And give the ball to Tyler, man. Give the ball to Tyler. He is going to, as much as we all, agree that we all love Bijan on here and all that stuff, get the other opposing quarterback on the damn ground and give Tyler the ball.
Yep, absolutely. Robert, keys to success Sunday, man. How do you bounce back from this rough L? I know this one's going to stick with the players a little longer than what some of these other L's have, but how do you bounce back to this against another hard divisional opponent Sunday against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in their home stadium?
Cody's already hit the nail on the head. Give the ball to Tyler. Give him more touches. and get the opposing quarterback on the ground. Now, we did get pressure on Geno today. That was a refreshing change. But, pressure is one thing, but you got to finish it and get the quarterback on the ground.
Finish it, man. I'm so tired of watching us get pressure and not make the tackle.
Yeah, and that one play, where they flushed him out of the pocket, had him wrapped up, and he just tosses it up there, first down. Me and Christy were Buffalo Wild Wings watching it, and of course, I get kind of animated, and if I'm in public, people are going to stare at me. Guess I embarrassed her a little bit, but hey, it's what it is.
She knew what she was getting into.
C-Double said, pass rush still needs to step up. Someone has to help Judon out. Judon has been hailed every week now since week 1, and the Atlanta Falcons have not been getting the flag for it. I don't know what else they need to do about that, but I agree. Somebody's got to get home. If Judon's not doing it, Grady Jarrett was back there a couple of times today. Grady Jarrett plays his heart out every single Sunday, man. Grady Jarrett gets the game ball for me today on defense. Grady Jarrett making big plays. No, it was not sacks, but it was tackles for loss. It was pressure on Geno Smith. Zach Harrison as well, always in Geno's ear tonight or today here. And then, the rough in the passer flag that ruins that drive, kills the momentum. It's tough, man. It's tough. Jabri Harper in the chat said, I agree. Why didn't they get away from our bread and butter, Tyler Algier? Jeff Williams said, let's not forget about pass protection. 100%. We talked about it here. Yeah. Matthew Bergeron went out the game. You've seen the impact of Matthew Bergeron no longer being on that left side. And then we talked about how you still ran the ball to your weak side after Bergeron came out the game. Play calling was not it today, and there's just no way around it. My recipe to beating Tampa Bay, man, defense, secondary, you've got to do better. Because let's be for real, the night that you gave up that many, the night that Kirk Cousins had to throw for 500 yards was because of the defense. Let's be for real. They gave up way too many big plays that night, and you cannot have that Sunday against the divisional opponents in their hometown. Defense must strap up. Linebacker core, you've got to play better. You've got to play better. Ellis with the QB spy today, I felt like waited a little too long on a couple of those QB spies. Geno was out the pocket. Ellis still kind of just sitting back there in no man's land waiting for Geno to come to him. Linebacker play has got to be better because Chris Godwin is a problem when he's in the slot. Mike Evans as well. Algier with another tough – not Algier. AJ Terrell with another tough opponent when it comes with Mike Evans here after the opponent with DK Metcalf. AJ Terrell, you got paid, baby. It's time to show what that money's worth. Shut down these receivers, man. We don't need interceptions, but please, 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 please do not give up a touchdown Sunday to Mike Evans. As tough as that is, please do not give one up to Mike Evans. Cody, Robert, man, it's been a 45-minute show here. We all have work tomorrow, so we're going to get ready to close this thing out. Obviously, a disappointing loss here, but we all have faith the Atlanta Falcons can bounce back and still outrun the South. Cody, Robert, I thank you guys for coming through tonight to talk Falcon football. This recap here, episode 99 for DFU. Episode 100, man, coming up very, very soon. It's going to be a banger. I don't know if we do it Tuesday, if we do it Friday, but trying to get that date solidified for Todd McClure. So stay tuned for Dirty Fanatics United. If not, it will be Tyler Algier's uncle here on the podcast with DFU, man. So stay tuned to DFU. Got some big things coming up. Cody, Robert, before we close this thing out, man, shout outs for tonight.
Yeah, man. Shout out to everybody that's watching after a tough one, man. I'll say it's always real easy to get on here and talk about, being 3-0 in the division and, thinking that you're going to get a Seattle team and, maybe not dog walking, but, take an easy W and then have to get on here and try to explain and be rational about what happened today. So shout out to you guys watching and, hurting with us. Shout out to you guys coming on and doing the same thing, man. It's really, like I say, it's really easy to sit here and talk about our birds when they're flying high, but when you kind of get your teeth kicked in like this, it's real tough. So, shout out to you guys coming on, talking Dirty Bird football. Guys, we are going to be okay. This one sucks. It stings. It's no fun. But maybe this is the wake-up call that you kind of have to have. Like, hey, yeah, you were 3-0 in the division. It doesn't make you untouchable. You can still get beat on any given Sunday by any team, even if it's teams that you should beat. So I think we're going to be okay. I think we go into Tampa Bay. I think it's going to be another dogfight. I don't think it's going to be the overtime thriller that we had. It's probably going to come down to a Younghoe Koo field goal. We're going to be okay. We have taken 3 of the last 4. We'll be all right. But other than that, guys, rise up.
Absolutely. Cody, appreciate you coming through tonight, brother. Mr. Robert, a.k.a. Mega Biff, shout-outs for tonight, brother.
Shout out to you guys for being on here, and, wish the circumstances were different, but, it's always good to talk Falcon football with you guys, and appreciate you for letting me be a part of it. Shout out to our viewers. Without you guys, there's no podcast. Thank you for your support. Shout out to the big man upstairs. Without him, nothing's possible. And shout out to Brianna, Peyton, Zach, and Christy. Love you guys. Rise up.
Absolutely, man. Rise up. Hit that like button. Leave a comment if you're watching this episode after the live, man. We love talking with you in what we call here the fourth quarter here for DFU, man. Check us out in the comment section. We will talk Falcon football with you here in the comment section, man. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Channel's been growing here the last few weeks. A bunch of subscribers have been coming through, and we greatly appreciate it, man. Hey, let us hit that 500 marker, halfway to 1K here for DFU. Hit that like button, man. Thank you to everybody that has supported the channel. It means more than I could express here on the podcast. A giveaway will be coming up very soon, so be sure you're subscribed here to the channel to be entered for that chance to win. I'm thinking of Falcon jersey players. I'm thinking of Falcon jersey. Maybe a Darnell Mooney, maybe a Jesse Bates, a Justin Simmons. Falcon fans, be subscribed to be entered into the free giveaway, man. Hit that like button. Leave a subscribe. As always, man, it's Dirty Fanatics United. Stay tuned because episode 100 is going to be a banger. As always, I'm your host, C Money. My guy, Cody, Robert. We out of here, man. A-Town down. Rise up.